everybody, welcome to socaldramtram. I'm Matt.
And I'm Caesar.
And today, before we get in this big bad box, we just want to say if you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and be sure to click the little bell on your way out. That way you know whenever we drop a new video. And if you're a returning viewer, hey, we appreciate you sticking around. Caesar, what do we got on the bar today?
Today, we got something from your bar, my good friend.
We do. We have Glenmorangie Signet. Holy crap, where'd the box go? Nonetheless, guys, hey, so we have Glenmorangie Signet. This is a non-age statements single malt Scotch whiskey, and this is a really unique bottling from Glenmorangie. This is part of their prestige line. This is technically a blend. It's not any one cask, it's a bunch of different casks. The age statement on this, if you were to even try to put something on it, it'd almost be impossible because you have anything from 10-year-old whiskey in this to 30-plus-year-old whiskey.
Dang, it must be good then, in order to be a prestige and a blend at the same time.
Now this comes at a pretty hefty price point for sure. But that being said, this was actually a gift to me. This was a Christmas gift from one of my good friends. You know who you are. We've been friends for a very long time. And she went ahead and she was like, hey, you know what? I want to go ahead and get you a really nice bottle. And she sent me a text saying, hey, go to Total Wine. And I was like, okay. So I went to Total Wine and I was like, yeah, I'm here for a pickup. It's under Matt. And they came out with this and I damn near peed myself in the store with excitement. That's not gross, it's with excitement. Now, that said, what really makes this bottle unique, other than the fact that it's a really high-end blend, is that this guy is also using chocolate malt in the malting process.
Really?
So this is something that they use to kind of give a little bit of color additive, but without adding like E150 for color.
Like chocolate malt, like the ice cream chocolate?
No. Like, I forget exactly what exactly it is, but it's not ice cream.
Okay.
But this guy is a really high-end bottle. I'm very fortunate to have it. I'm very fortunate to have hit a couple sips on this, and I already know I like it. I forget. I think I poured this for you, but it's still been a little bit.
Yeah.
What are you expecting from this?
I remember having it, but it was, I think it might have been a neck pour, if that. And if that also, I don't remember how significant the flavors were, but that's why I'm excited to try it now, because this, folks, every time I come over, Matt has 100 bottles back here, but this is way down there in a box in the back corner where you can't touch. So yeah. I'm excited to be having this again.
So the rule on my bar is that if you are a guest in my house and there's a bottle that's open, you are welcome to pour yourself a glass. However, there are bottles that I have to pour for you. This is definitely one of those bottles because even I don't hit it all that often. That's why it's in the back of the cabinet. And part of it is that it is a gift, and so it's something that I want to last for a long time.
Oh, for sure.
And the friend that got it for me is not local, and so whenever they do visit, this is something that I want them to experience.
Completely justified.
And so it's definitely something that I have a hard time reaching for because, well, I shouldn't say I don't have a hard time reaching for it. I have a hard time hiding myself from it. But nonetheless, this is something that I'm really looking forward to. For coins today, I'm actually going to be using my Scotch for Dummies First Fill Burnt Toast coin. That's right, Drew. That's you. Who are you going to be using?
For my topper coin, I'm going with me Aquavite coin. And for my coaster coin, I'm going with Sippers Social Club because I'm an official member.
And we like to sip socially. Okay, so this nose is delicious, divine, heavenly. Like I expect when the cork comes out, angels are singing, pearly gates are opening, St. Peter's like, come on in, it's a party.
The holy choir.
Which, by the way, speaking of this cork, this thing weighs like 4 pounds on top of the bottle, which is all opaque and whatnot. Like, you don't really see the color of the whiskey until you get to about here. But yeah, man, it's a gorgeous bottle.
And this isn't a snake bite from Buffalo Wild Wings, folks. No. It's just, you know, just how they decided to fancy the bottle.
Damn, I have not had a snake bite in probably 10 years.
I haven't had one by choice, probably, I don't know what, because everyone that drinks those from Buffalo Wild Wings, it's like, why would you want juice under your beer? Like, get out of here. You think it looks cool, but are you getting what your money's worth is? No.
Okay, so back to this divine whiskey. Because this is going to be an outer body experience, I'm expecting. The nose on this, like, it's definitely got some sherry influence for sure. Like, there's a couple different types of barrels mixed into this. But I get, like, toffee, I get some peanuts, but I also get, like, some, you know, dark fruits, like dark cherries, a little bit of fig.
For me,
what do you get?
The biggest thing is, I don't know. All right, folks, so I'm 27, right? That's cute. When I was in elementary school, specifically like 2nd to 4th grade, in my school, I guess, it was so popular to have these toffee candies. I think the brand was Werther's. It was Werther's. It was a big, like, creamy brown bag, and then you open it, and then this, anywho, that was the cool candy to have as a kid. You know, you got that, people, all the other, you know, 4-year-olds are like, or 6-year-olds are like,
kid on campus.
Hey, you have another one of those? I do, but I'm not giving it to you. It's one of those good candies. So as far as the nose goes, it's straight Werther's toffee candy, distinctly.
Okay, so I took a sip. If there were ever a after dinner whiskey, this is it. If there were ever a dessert scotch, this is it. This is something that, like, I want to, like, break out my ice cream and just, like, have this and a bowl of ice cream, and it's just,
oh my god.
But with that said, this is not sickly sweet. Like, this is not, like, again, pouring syrup down your throat. Like, this is so complex. Like, it's almost beyond me. Like, this is one of those bottles that I have it, and it's like, I haven't unlocked that level of whiskey tasting yet, right? Like, I haven't got the item to unlock the room so I can get this guy all Indiana Jones style. I'm just still, like, trying to get past the trap door in the beginning. But this, I get a little bit of coffee. I get, like, specifically, like, espresso. Like, it's just so rich, so flavorful. The mouthfeel is so, like, oily. It just covers everything. It's at 46%, so it has a little bit of sharper tones to it, but they quickly go away. Like, it hits you real quick, and then the alcohol just goes away, and it's like, hey, we're here to party and check out all these flavors. But again, this is like after dinner whiskey. This is the definition of a nightcap for me. What are you getting?
As far as flavors profiles go, it's really good. The first thing that comes to mind is, folks, I'm not that rich, so I like to fly Southwest. And when I fly Southwest, they give me an option of honey roasted peanuts. And that's exactly what I get out of this. Yeah? Honey roasted peanuts.
I can get behind that.
But that's the first thing I get. And then the finish, I can honestly say it reminds me of going to a grocery store with my mom as a kid. And I only did it because my mom did it. So I saw my mom do it, so I do it every time she does it. Every time we walk by the coffee aisle, she opens that thing, grabs one coffee bean, and starts eating it. Just one coffee bean and just eats it. Just like that, every single time we're at the store. So I always did it. It was always disgusting. And I always did it either way because I saw my mom do it.
Why would you do that?
I don't know, but either way, it became a thing to do from then on. So for me, the start is definitely, you know, like nice sweet peanuts, but the finish reminds me of coffee bean individually, like if you were to eat it.
Yeah, the coffee bean, it's a little bit more potent, right? Yeah. It's kind of like sugar in the raw, or cocoa, right? Like you've used that analogy before.
Yeah,
where it's like
exactly.
The bitter,
real
sweet
cocoa,
right? It's similar to that. Like for me, I'm not quite getting that specific of that, but like for me it's like espresso because it's so creamy as well. Like I'm still going to be getting that bitter from the coffee, bitter from the espresso, but I'm also getting this just creamy mouthfeel to where it's almost like transitions into a cappuccino. And the finish on this guy goes for a little bit. I mean, I haven't sipped it in about 2.5 minutes and it's still going. And it's still going strong, and all the flavors are still really nice. No smoke here, no smoke in this guy. At least if there is, I can't get to it. But that's not what I'm expecting from this. I've only had 2 other offerings from Glenmorangie. Actually, that's not true at all. I've had a couple offerings from Glenmorangie. I've had their 10. I've had we'll say an 80s bottling of their 10, which there was a very big difference between those two. I've also had their 12. I think I have a couple of 12s, and I think I had their Nectar, I think is what it's called, Nectar, can't remember exactly. There's a little sample pack that you can buy that has like 4 bottles of it. And I was like, yeah, that's a great way to experience this.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's interestingly enough because this was always on my radar. This was always something that I wanted to pick up, but I always was waiting on it because it is pricey. I think here it goes for about $210. So this is definitely not like let me go drop some money on some whiskey. I mean, you can buy a lot of bottles for $210, right? Yeah. So what makes you want to get this bottle over, say, 5 bottles? The complexity to it, right? But when I first sampled Glenmorangie, I wasn't all that much of a fan. I was like, it has this like malt musty funk, and those other bottlings in that sampler pack, they all start off as Glenmo 10. So I'm like, will I like this? I don't know if I want to drop the money on it. So I always waited. Then I did some more research and found out that this is not the same new make. It's a different kind. I believe someone may correct me in the comments, but I remember reading that. I'm pretty sure that's correct. But this is just completely different. I have a bottle of Glenmorangie 10. We could compare it, but this is going to blow that out of the water. And they know that. They know that's why it's part of their prestige line. The reason why I'm talking so long, I really wanted to test how long this finish would go. And it's just dissipated after about 4 minutes. So I put some water on it. I put about 4 drops in. I want to kind of see what it does with it. I have not added water to this one before, so I'm curious to see what it does. So, interestingly enough, the spikiness of the alcohol kind of comes out, but it still just turns into like almost brighter fruits because of the alcohol note getting kind of sharpened. Like now I'm getting like a little bit of lemon, a little bit of, God, what is that? It's not quite grapefruit. I can't place it though. What are you getting?
On the nose, I do get the, to be honest, I get like a crisp, like red apple. Interesting.
Oh man. So the water just kind of heightens everything for me. I don't know if I necessarily prefer this one with water. Because when I say heighten, I mean that in a way like everything kind of becomes sharper for me anyway. Like it's not as rounded off as some scotches, like in that Serious review last week, right? Where that one with the water, it became like the best thing. Yeah. This one, the water isn't doing it too many favors. Now, notably, I haven't hit this all that often, so this is probably still about the shoulder, if not a little higher. So maybe it just needs to oxidize a little bit more. I don't know. But I definitely prefer this one neat. I'm gonna go on for another sip and kind of see what happens. What are you getting?
Yeah, I'm 2 sips in, and I'm definitely getting a little bit more pepper out of it with the water. Mm-hmm. So I definitely would say this is one I would enjoy neat, better neat.
Yeah, definitely neat for me on this one. Now that you mentioned the pepper, that does kind of blow up a little bit. It's kind of in like the back of my throat, back of my tongue. That doesn't mean it's bad. It just means I would prefer this without water. So I'm definitely interested to see how this evolves as it goes down. Yeah. Now that it's out of the cabinet, because I recently remodeled my bar. Doesn't look like much, but we do have a whole new section right over here. I'm interested to see because I will probably hit it more often. But again, thank you to my friend who picked up this bottle. This is something very special that I really do treasure. If I had to score this guy, price point's a little high. But the complexity you get without the water, like you don't have to add anything. It's kind of like they went, here, this is right where it needs to be. You know what I mean? It's not, you don't need to mess with this, right? It reminds me a lot like Lagavulin 16, which we haven't reviewed yet, but we're going to get there, where it's like, you don't need to do anything to this whiskey. It's already there. We already know how good it is, right where it's at. And I think this is it as well. So I think at 46%, $210, a little salty. But if you are getting this as a special occasion bottle for like an anniversary or gift for a friend that you've known for a really long time, I think this is a perfect gift given dram, as well as just a perfect glass of whiskey. So for me, especially since I don't pay for it, I'm gonna give it a 4. 4 out of 5 from me. I think this is exceptional. This is something that I am happy to own, that I will happily pour for other people to experience it. And more importantly, that it's something that is gonna just always give me fond memories. So this is one of those things where maybe I'm a little bit biased, but it's a 4 from me. Where are you going?
So for me, Signet, I definitely enjoyed each and every pigment of this dram while making my taste buds go bam. Something I would definitely love to share with you all, my dram fam. So for me, it's a 4 because I literally never got peanuts distinctly off of an alcohol like I did off this. Like I was like, wow, that instantly peanuts. Like that's crazy how instant it goes to that. So because of the flavor profile it has, I'm definitely giving it a 4 as well.
Absolutely. Well, it's 4 4s from us, guys. Do us a favor, hit us up in the comments. Have you had Glenmorangie Signet?
2 4s.
2 4s. 4 4s, 2 4s, all the 4s. Who knows? You're a 4. He's a 4. I'm a 5. No, nonetheless, guys, hit us up in the comments. Have you had Glenmorangie Signet? What other offerings from Glenmorangie have you had? Should we pick something up? I know there's a couple, or not a couple new offerings, but there's at least a 14-year-old out there. And it's something that we're always interested in. We're always looking for, on the shelves, browsing out there. So let us know what your comments are. Let us know if you like this one. Also, don't forget to hit us up on all the socials, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, at socaldramtram. And hey, you got anything else you want to add, Caesar?
Nah, what about you, Matt?
All aboard! Catch you next time. Hey everybody, hope you liked that video.
Don't forget to hit that bell for notifications.
And don't forget to subscribe.